Coming up on today's show, is it realistic that Carmelo Anthony wins the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award? We're going to show you some numbers that show, yeah, he's off to a great start during a very frustrating start to the Lakers season. But first, if you think Melo can win the Sixth Man of the Year award, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and let's get into today's show. What's up, Laker Nation? Welcome into the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. Really excited to talk about Carmelo Anthony and how good he's been for this team so far this year. I understand it's been a really frustrating start, but one of the lone bright spots in what has been a maddening start to the season has been Carmelo Anthony. You take a look at his numbers, he has really been one of the best Lakers players, and I'd make the argument Carmelo Anthony might be the Lakers MVP up to this point. Yeah, Anthony Davis is playing good basketball, but everybody expected him to continue to be the generational talent that he is and ball out. Russell Westbrook has been maddeningly inconsistent, as we've talked a lot about here on the channel, but Carmelo Anthony on a vet minimum deal has been balling out, and he's been one of the best bench rotation players across the entire NBA. These numbers really are ridiculous considering how old Melo is, how long he's been in the league, and how little the Los Angeles Lakers are paying him, as he kind of fell under the radar in NBA free agency. 17.5 points per game. Melo is shooting 50% from the floor, a career high 52% from long range, which really goes to show you the growth to his game and the willingness to make changes in his lifestyle, as well as the way that he plays basketball stylistically, which has lent itself to him really having a breakout campaign this late in his career. And of course, he's very reliable at the free throw line, as he's always been throughout his Hall of Fame career, knocking down about 83% of his free throw attempts. Carmelo Anthony, he's on his way to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. He put together a terrific career in New York with the Denver Nuggets prior to that, but then since then he's really been somewhat of a journeyman and struggled to find his footing. He's one of the best pure bucket getters that the NBA has ever seen. That cannot be denied, and the numbers certainly back that up. Career averages, which have gone down in recent years because his role has changed, but still, when you've been playing this long, since coming into the league in that historic 2003 NBA draft class alongside LeBron, it's crazy the sustainability and longevity to his career. Career averages of 23 points per game, little north of 6 rebounds, 44+% for his career is a very good number, and then it's 35.5 from deep, not the free throw percentage there. So Carmelo Anthony, what's crazy about this entire conversation is that at one point, after he left the New York Knicks, Carmelo Anthony was left for dead. He was in basketball purgatory. He was left on the scrap heap. Nobody thought he could play anymore. Everybody thought, okay, you're teaming up with James Harden. He's going to be a good complementary piece on the Houston Rockets to some of the stars on the roster at that time. He's going to be a guy who can stretch the floor. Well, the Houston Rockets stint didn't work out. Then he couldn't get a job for a little while, and the Portland Trail Blazers with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum are like, all right, let's do Carmelo Anthony a favor. He can't get a job anywhere else. Let's see what the guy has. And he was able to reclaim and rejuvenate his career and really withstand some early challenges to become a very good bench piece with the Portland Trail Blazers. This is a guy who was left for dead, and then he did what others haven't done. He put a lot of work into trimming down his body, getting into peak basketball shape. He was somewhat chubby in those New York Knicks days, but you take a look at him right now. He's been working with his trainer, Christian Brinkley, I think his name is, really doing a lot of work to trim that body down, become a really prime shape basketball player this late in his career, and because of that, he's got a little extra pop to his step. He's got a little extra bounce, and he looks really, really good. Some might say he's been on that LeBron James, Tom Brady, avocado ice cream type diet. He is slimmed down. He's in the best shape that he's been in a really long time, but also he did what others haven't done by meaning this. He made changes to his game. He wasn't stubborn. He realized, okay, I'm not the player that I once was who can give you 25, 30 points per night. I'm willing to make the sacrifices, and oftentimes the greats don't make those sacrifices because their ego gets in the way of that. I'm not the only one who's talking about Carmelo Anthony potentially winning the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award. Kendrick Perkins also doubling down on that fact by saying this on Twitter the other night: Melo winning Sixth Man of the Year going to hit different at the end of the season with his trademark carry on. By the way, it's Kendrick Perkins' it's his birthday, so let's say happy birthday to the king that is Perk. And I think Perk has a point, I think I have a point, and I think if you watch Carmelo Anthony this year, you have a point, and the numbers back those points up as well. Before we continue to break this down, will Carmelo Anthony win the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award? Get into the comment section, sound off, and if you're emotional about this, hey, be emotional in the comment section. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Be sure to get those votes in the comment section right now. You take a gander at the NBA Sixth Man of the Year odds right now. I think it's kind of a joke that Tyler Herro is atop this list at plus 115 odds. Then Jordan Clarkson and Montrezl Harrell are in order. I wanted to include Carmelo Anthony in this graphic. He's not technically in fourth place, but he's sitting there at plus 2,500 odds, which is really, really good value if you do want to lay a bet down and take a chance on Melo bringing home this hardware. If you want to do that, we have you hooked up with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Right now, you can get a 125% deposit bonus by going to chatsports.com/Lakers, and you enter the promo code Lakers125. To simplify that for you, you put in $100 into your account, and by using that link in that promo code, you get an additional $125 back. Even if sports gambling isn't technically legal in your state, this deal applies for anybody, anywhere. To simplify those betting odds as well, with Carmelo Anthony at plus 2,500 odds, what that means is if you put $5 down and made a bet on Melo to win the Sixth Man of the Year award, and he actually won it, the payout would be $125. So the risk, $5, to win $125. If you don't get your money back, it's all good. It's $5. But if he wins the award, that's a nice little payout. Sports gambling all comes down to odds and value. The value, is on your side right there. As I talked about earlier, the value of Carmelo Anthony's deal, with him being on the vet minimum, is crazy for what he's able to give this team right now with LeBron James being out. He's only getting paid a base salary of $2.6 million, and in hindsight, that's somewhat disrespectful for how valuable and good Melo has been able to be this year. Frank Vogel speaking about a lot with what has to do with Carmelo Anthony, him winning this award, but also that mysterious stint when he went to the Houston Rockets and couldn't really find a job for a little while. He was asked about that recently and said this, quote, "I honestly never understood it. I really didn't. I actually thought that when he went to Houston with his shooting ability and their capacity to shoot threes, that he would have been a great fit. I don't know what really happened there, but when he got to Portland, he gave them really good minutes and production. He's obviously got a lot in the tank, and we're excited to have him. I just never understood it." And last year with Portland, Melo was floating around a 40% efficiency rate with his three-point field goals. And I'm not sure that Melo is going to shoot around 50% from distance this year. That's really hard to sustain throughout the course of the regular season. But he's going to have a career year with the start that he's gotten off to this year. And I think he's making a serious run at winning the Sixth Man of the Year award. Here's my question for all of you. Has Melo been the Lakers MVP this year? LeBron James has been out too much for him to be considered the most valuable player for this roster. Anthony Davis has been great, but as I talked about, we knew Anthony Davis was going to be great. $2.6 million, what he's being paid, what he's putting up in terms of his numbers, and the surprising aspect of it, I think that's why you could say and make the argument that Melo has been the Lakers MVP. Anthony Davis, speaking of Melo, who's so smooth on the court, even still in his late 30s, quote, "He's a great scorer. He's a great mentor for guys, great leadership. He's savvy. He's a vet. He knows the game, and he brings so much to a team. It's shocking that nobody wanted him a couple years ago, but we'll be more than happy to have him. He's a Hall of Famer. He knows his worth. He's never wavered since I've known him. He's always kept his head in the right place, and that's why he's been playing well for the last couple of years, regardless of what other people may think of him." That's what Russell Westbrook had to say on top of what Anthony Davis said, and Westbrook continued by saying this, or what we see his value as us here understand his value. We understand how to use him. We'll do a good job all year long of continuing to make the game very easy for him. So it's been easy to see why so many people are excited about Carmelo Anthony and why he kind of started the season low on the Sixth Man of the Year award and odds, and he has been able to matriculate his way up those standings because of his play in the early going. helping to keep this Lakers team and this Lakers offense afloat during what has been a very rigorous and tough time without the services of the King. So before we get out of here, subscribe to the channel because we hit you with the latest news and rumors, multiple videos per week, which are all free. We don't go behind a paywall. And when breaking news happens, we also have you updated with all of that as well with videos within the hour. So let's get the 40,000 subscribers. Just simply hit that red subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/LakersTV. And to pay homage to the great career that Carmelo Anthony has been having, let's go to the PA voice of the New York Knicks back in the day when Melo has been able to hit all those threes back in the day at Madison Square Garden. Carmelo Anthony, 3 ball, we out.